Hi, this is Tom from the Dreamcast Junkyard. Thanks for tuning into this video review. One of the things that you take for granted these days with games consoles is that they will come with a wireless controller as standard. Things like the PS4 and the Xbox One, PS4 controller here, you know, it's a standard controller, but it's wireless. Even going back to the last generation with the 360, you know, you get wireless controllers, and even as far back as things like the Wii. Obviously you've got the Wii U as well, don't want to leave that out. I mean, even things like the Nintendo GameCube had the Wavebird wireless controller, and going back even before that, you had the infrared controllers for things like the Mega Drive and the Sega Saturn, which, you know, weren't that good because you had to maintain a line of sight between the controller and the console for the infrared to actually be enabled, really. With this in mind, somebody called Chris has been tinkering with the Dreamcast controller, the standard Dreamcast controller, and has created the first, or what is believed to be the first true wireless controller for the Dreamcast, and it's here. This is the DreamConn. This is DreamConn version 2 that I've got here. There was another version, which was version 1, which had a few different features, and then there was a version 1.1 which had a different battery inside it. I will go into the particulars of the DreamConn further on in this video review, but I just wanted to show it first of all. It is a standard Dreamcast HKT7700 standard controller, and it's basically just been taken apart and had this new wireless technology sort of reverse engineered into it. Okay, so the rest of this review will be just my hands, so you won't have to look at my face anymore. So let's get on with it. Okay, so now this is me doing my Adam Koralik impression, just my hands on the screen. Okay, let's begin by having a quick look at what the DreamConn is actually modelled after. This is for, you know, everyone who knows what a Dreamcast is. This is the standard HKT7700 controller. This is a PAL one, hence the blue swirl. Yeah, it's pretty standard. One of the main criticisms that a lot of people have with it is that it doesn't have two analog sticks, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. And another one is that the wire is actually on the bottom of the controller and is meant to be slotted into this little sort of divot on the where the VMUs go, or the rumble pack. And, you know, nobody ever really uses that. Most people just have them hanging like that, and, you know, it is, I will admit, I do find it quite annoying myself. So with the DreamConn, you don't actually have to worry about that because obviously there is no wire. So I'll just move that to one side, and the wire there. So this is the DreamConn. As you can see, it is literally just a standard Dreamcast controller where the wire has been taken off. But let's have a look at some of the features or extra buttons on the DreamConn. So as you can see, it's a normal controller. It's even got the sticker still on it there. Where the wire would be coming out from the bottom of the joystick controller, you've got the power adapter. More on that in a second. On the top, you've got the on-off switch, which makes a nice click. This one's fully charged, so you get the power LED. On the DreamConn version 1, I believe the power LED was in the middle, but this one has got two different LEDs. One is to show that the power is on, and the other one is for when the battery is low. This one here will flash red, so that's quite a nice feature. Like I say, you can turn it on and off with this nice, rather excellent clicky button in the middle. Apart from that, there's not really much else to say about the physical design of the DreamConn. It is, all intents and purposes, just an official Dreamcast controller. Okay, in the box you don't just get the wireless controller though, you do get a few other little bits and pieces, and these are This is the sort of the transponder, if you will, the receiver that goes into the Dreamcast. The bit that actually connects to the Dreamcast is a standard controller, you know, the end of the controller wire from a normal Dreamcast, which is, you know, quite nice. And then, I mean, Chris, the guy who created this, he must be some kind of technical wizard, because this little box here is what does the transmitting from the Dreamcast to the DreamConn. I'm a bit stupid when it comes to like electronics and things, so I wouldn't have the first idea on how it actually technically works. But what I do know is that it does use some kind of Bluetooth technology, and so each DreamConn and receiver is unique. So you can have multiple DreamConns plugged into the same Dreamcast. So you could theoretically have 4 controllers plugged in with 4 of these plugged into the front of the Dreamcast, and each one would only pick up the signal from the corresponding DreamConn. I believe that's right. I've only got the one, so I can't test it, but I'm assured by Chris that that's the case. Also, what you get in the box with the DreamConn is the charging cable, which is quite nice. This connects to the bottom of the controller, and then you can either charge it through the USB port on a PC, or you can actually plug it into one of those, like what you get with the iPhone or the iPod, where you can plug the USB into one end of it and plug that into the wall. So that charges through either the mains or a computer. I did plug it into my MacBook to see if it would bring up the internal VMUs that are actually built into the DreamConn, but it doesn't actually do anything. But that's not a great loss, to be honest. On the subject of the built-in VMUs, it does actually have 2 virtual VMUs built into the controller. So if you plug it, well, you don't have to plug it in. If you turn the system on and the system recognises the DreamConn, then go into the VMU menu, you will see 2 essentially brand new VMUs built into the controller as standard. So that's a nice fun feature. You've also got the ability to have a rumble pack in the second slot, and also another VMU in the front slot, which only acts as a screen for the DreamConn, but I will show you that in the next part of this video review, when I'm actually going to be demonstrating how it works with a Dreamcast console. So yeah, after the break we'll be doing that. Okay, so here we are with a Dreamcast and a TV. I must apologise, I know it's not a CRT VJ monitor, but I just could not be bothered lugging it down the stairs because it weighs a ton. But this will do for now. So we've got the flat screen TV, sorry about that, and here is the DreamConn. I've put a VMU in it just so you can see what happens on the screen when you turn it on. So I'm turning it on and it's beeping like a normal flat batteried VMU will, and I'm now going to turn the Dreamcast on as well. So that's now on. Yeah, I know, aspect ratio and all that stuff. But as you can see on the screen, it says DreamConn with the little logo. And one of the interesting features that the DreamConn does is if you hold down the trigger buttons and press start, it will actually show you how much battery you've got remaining on the screen, which I think is quite a cool little addition. As I said in the last bit of the video, the VMU that you insert into the DreamConn doesn't actually do anything other than act as a screen, because the VMUs are actually internal. You can plug a second one into here, but again there's no point, because you've already got the 2 VMUs. I need to sort the battery out in this Dreamcast as well, as you can see. So if we go to the file menu, you will see that, I'm sorry about the distance from the screen, but you can see that there are 2 different VMUs already showing up on the screen. And if I know you're not meant to do this, but if I pull this one out, if I can do it, you will see that even with that VMU gone, these 2 remain, because there are 2 internal ones, as I keep saying. So I'll just plug this back in. Because it's not doing anything other than acting as a screen, it will just come back up saying DreamConn, hopefully. Anyway, yeah, there you can see, as soon as it kind of loads up, it will tell you that it's connected. And let's exit out of that, and let's see how it acts with a game. Okay, so the game I'm going to actually test this with is Ghostblade, the new shmup from HuCast and PlayAsia, and I think this will be a good way of demonstrating just how sort of responsive the DreamConn is with the Dreamcast. Also, I didn't point out before, but you can just see it here on the left hand side of the screen. That's the receiver unit doing its thing. Here we go. So you can see on the front there, it's just got the standard VMU thing. Oh, but now it's changed to the Ghostblade. So it does act like a normal VMU screen. So you can see there's no lag, between pressing up and down on the start menu. Yes, I know the aspect ratio is wrong and it should be turned on its side and all that kind of thing, but just for the just for testing purposes, I'm just going to show you this. Also, this will be a good way to show you the Ghostblade as well if you've not seen it yet. Probably cut this bit out. So here we have stage 1 of Ghostblade, and as you can see, it's perfectly playable with the DreamConn. Let's do a bit of focus shot. So yeah, I mean, I'm just using the D-pad at the moment, but you can also use the analog stick, and it's perfectly fine. I mean, I'm only sat about a meter from the TV here, but it does actually work for ridiculous different distances. I was stood outside the front door, which is about 20 feet from my main TV, still able to move the cursor around on the Dreamcast's main screen. Because I could hear the icons, beeping as I moved the D-pad around. So the distance from, the DreamConn will work from the Dreamcast is pretty spectacular, really. I mean, you wouldn't want to go and stand out in the garden and play your Dreamcast because you wouldn't be able to see what the hell you were doing. But it's nice to know that you can be, in a different room and the thing will still, pick up the DreamConn. So yeah, I mean, I'm in danger of getting carried away here and just playing more of the Ghostblade than I should, so I'll just pause it here. Okay, just to show how current we are here at the Dreamcast Junkyard, this is Volgar the Viking, the game that recently got ported from the Xbox One and Steam. As you can see, I'm using the DreamConn again. Here on the screen you've got the Volgar the Viking logo, and again there is no delay whatsoever between using the DreamConn and what goes on screen. So I'm happy to report that it's, other than the fact that this game is stupidly difficult, it's all good. Let's see, how do you roll through that? So yeah, I mean, you're getting 3 videos for the price of 1 really. Here you've got a little bit of Hughcast's Ghostblade, you've got some Volgar the Viking, and obviously you've got the DreamConn as well. I must say, if you are thinking about downloading this game and burning it, great kudos to Mark Hall, who did the conversion, but it is ridiculously hard. That's obviously not his fault. I'm probably going to get killed before I get anywhere. Yeah. So on just going back to the DreamConn, I believe the battery, that's the internal battery, is obviously it's rechargeable, but it's got a lifespan, so I'm told by Chris, of around 10 to 13 hours. I believe the original DreamConn only had like a 3-hour lifespan, but so that is a massive improvement. Again, you can check the battery by holding down both triggers and pressing start. The only, I say criticism, but one thing that a lot of people who have mentioned on like forums and on the Facebook page, it's the price really of the unit. I mean, when it comes in the box, it's like an official Sega product. You get it in an official Dreamcast controller box. You get everything's wrapped in cellophane. You've even got an instruction manual, and it looks really professional. So kudos to Chris for that. The only sticking point is that it retails at the moment for $150 or £96, which is a little bit out of the price range for a lot of people. I didn't actually pay that for this. Chris offered to send me one to review, so that's the one that I'm currently holding. But I mean, if you've got that kind of money to spend and you want a new peripheral for your Dreamcast, you can't really go much further wrong than getting yourself a DreamConn. It is a brilliant idea, a fantastic piece of kit. I mean, when I'm playing my games normally, if I'm in my living room, then the TV is quite away from the couch, and usually I have to drag the Dreamcast out from underneath the TV stand and have wires trailing across the living room floor. But now with this, I can sit, on the other side of the room and just play normally, play happily. I can't really find fault with it. It's a fantastic piece of equipment. And yeah, like I say, if you've got the money, then by all means, go ahead and pick one up. One other thing is that when you've got the Rumble Pack inserted into the DreamConn, it basically turns off one of the internal memory cards, because you can't have a rumble pack and a memory card in the same slot at the same time, obviously, and that's what it's doing. I actually found that out to my loss earlier. I had to email Chris and ask him what the issue was. But yeah, I'll put all the links in the description, and you can have a look at the eBay auction site. And yeah, if you've got any questions about the DreamConn, then please feel free to ask them either in the comments or send me an email or whatnot. As ever, please feel free to visit the Dreamcast Junkyard at dreamcastjunkyard.co.uk and check out the Facebook page. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed looking at this or watching this review of the DreamConn. Thank you.